All right, brothers and sisters, I'm going to play for you a little short speech by Alton Maddox, okay? Now, while he's talking about this past event, about sending out the call of arms, okay, to march and demonstrate in the Hasidic community in Crown Heights. For those who don't know, Hasidics are those Jews who wear those black rain catcher hats. That's what they call rain catchers, with the curls hanging down from the side and the black long trench coats and shit. Okay, the ones who trade diamonds on 142nd Street in Manhattan. Okay, because every diamond that leaves South Africa goes through a Jewish company called the De Beers Corporation and goes first to Israel. Then from Israel, it's distributed throughout the world. Okay. So this is a past event he's talking about, but I want you to make a comparative analysis. There go that magic word again. All right, that brother Eli who keeps drilling and pounding into you. I want you to make a comparative analysis of the Google owners of these black community sites, okay, and the moderators, okay? And I want you to think about how tame that their commentaries are, or some just don't even comment, period. Okay, how tame that their posts are, and look, posts are some type of meme that just raises your goddamn antenna and you think, damn, that was heavy, but it's just a fucking meme. It fucking leaves just as fast as it came out your goddamn mind. It's not designed to have any lasting effect on your consciousness. Okay. This is why I tell you, beware them goddamn memes. They destroy depth perception. They destroy the ability to think and to look beyond the veil. They just pacification tools to keep you thinking that, you know what I'm saying, some type of action is being taken or that you are involved. You're not involved until you begin to open your fucking mouth in some goddamn discourse with your people. You understand? I told you before, make videos. You don't gotta show your face. It ain't nothing stupid to say. You know what I mean? You know what the fuck being mistreated feels like. And you share how the fuck you feel with this bullshit going on around the country. Okay? It's called YouTube. Broadcast yourself. You understand that shit? We're the common man with an opinion. Okay, can freely, under this country's constitution, under freedom of speech, can say how the fuck he feels. Okay? And I want you to think of that when you watch this short clip by Alton Maddox about calling out these black Google, the new black Google. I ain't gonna name a bunch of other motherfucking sites that got sellouts for owners and moderators. And the fake moderators that will get real close up to you. They want to nuzzle up to the strong, okay? Because it gives them either some false sense of, validating that they doing something, but really they selling out, okay? I don't know for sure, but I believe the owners get some money, okay? I know you get money for goddamn subscribers and shit like that. So if you start a black community site and the motherfucker drawing a whole shitload of black people and you're able to monitor that word, monitor. How come that word keeps ringing the bell of overseer, like on a plantation? You know, when you monitor something, that means you got your eyes open for something. You looking for something. You know, you watching. You kind of gauging the motherfucking temperament of the people, okay? Whether it's cold, medium, hot, or heavy. You understand that shit? I want y'all to start calling out these motherfucking niggas, man, okay, on these communities. And then listen, if they keep on posting no comments on this on the state of our goddamn race, if they keep on just posting some little, think they gonna keep getting by us with some fucking memes and shit, I don't give a fuck what the fuck the memes say. Motherfucker, you the owner of this black community site, we want to hear your voice. What the fuck do you got to say? And don't give us no goddamn memes. Open your fucking mouth, make some videos. Where you stand with us, nigga? Where the fuck do you stand? Okay, you got these niggas out here now who posting these copyright, these privacy, what they call this shit? Profile privacy copyright. That if a nigga like me come along and if I was to post a shit up, you understand what I'm saying? Saying that this motherfucker is suspected of being an agent. You know what I mean? He's suspected of betraying the people. He's suspected of being a wolf in sheep's clothing. You understand what I'm saying? He's an agent or employee of Google, perhaps. You know what I mean? A lot of them are Freemasons. I told you that shit. And don't think just Freemasons are old. That's the old regime. These motherfuckers been on a heavy recruitment spree for the last 20 years to bring in a whole new guard. They changed the face of Black Prince Hall Freemasonry. And now the new regime is a bunch of young boys. Believe that shit. Okay? I'm going to roll the motherfucking clip. Make the comparative analysis, all right? When you see all videos and shit, you should always be thinking, how does this shit apply today? All right? Here we go.
Only a seat in Crown Heights. I know everybody getting a little nervous now. Everybody getting a little nervous.
He said
right,
the Hasidim.
We ain't talking about downtown. We ain't talking about marching in the black community. We're talking about marching on 770 Eastern Parkway.
That's right.
We got to separate the men from the boys.
Right.
Now, really, you have to do this.
Right.
Yourself.
Not Elihu, you.
Leadership must be accountable to you.
Exactly. There's no accountability for leadership.
My suggestion is this. This is my suggestion. My suggestion is that we get a list of all the Negro activists in this city. And then we have our meeting and decide. No, I won't be there. You have to have this meeting. Because you may want to give me an assignment. See where my head is.
That's right. That's right. See where my head is.
I carry out my job.
But I've already proved my shit.
Bark is worse than my bite.
That's right. I think I went above and beyond.
What needs to happen is that you need to meet somewhere and then decide exactly what you feel needs to be done in the Emily Benn case, including marching on his sedum, and then sending a letter out to every Negro activist in the form of a subpoena, so to speak, and telling that person that on that day, all of you so-called activist leaders,
owners,
who is taking money from Jews,
moderators, Google in this case,
must report to Crown Heights to lead a demonstration against their sedum.
You an owner of a black site? Step the fuck up. Or what the fuck is it really about? Pull a card.
You make the decision. Don't wait for them to call. That's right, call all the names, everybody, and say on this date, we'll march with your sedum. This is the community speaking. This is not Maddox. This is the community.
This the black Google community speaking.
And we want Dorothy.
Google Plus community of black folks.
We want Sharpton. We want Lumumba. And down the line to lead this. And anybody that talks out,
here it go,
should be banished from the black community.
There it is. Simple and plain. Simple and plain. There it is. There it is right there. Any of them motherfuckers that punk out, okay, leave they fucking site. Do not support. You cannot support people, y'all, that don't support you and your fucking plight. This is called a plight, a suffering, an oppression, abuse. Okay? They killing us, literally. God damn. Stop letting these niggas get by so easy. And always checking they boxes off, they likes and shit over fucking Mimi and you to death. Literally. Let me explain to you what Mimi's do, yo. For real, yo. I'm getting ready to take it deeper than I took it before. Okay? Mimi's, yo. Mimi's dumb you down, alright? They create a state of pacification. You know, pacifying you, keeping you it takes the fight out of you. It gives you a false illusionary impression that you're actually involved or doing something, you know, for the black people, and you're not. Half of you don't even talk the shit outside of the goddamn Google post. How many of you are in the street? You understand that shit? And some of you I know ain't street people like me, perhaps, but how many of you are just, whenever you around black people, you know what I mean? You talking how the fuck you feel. You ain't holding nothing back. You talk about how you feel. Because this shit ain't about friends. This shit ain't about social acceptability. You understand that shit? I'm this way, yo, every fucking where I go. In front of white folk, old folk, police, man, in front of police. When I'm around police, I get even fucking louder. You understand that shit? And then I always, when I'm around a black police, I always say something that bitch slap his ass into making him make a personal assessment as to, yeah, what the fuck am I doing in this uniform? You know? How far will I go for $25 an hour and shit against my own people? You feel me? These are the type of things, yo, you have to make these motherfuckers, you have to stab and jab and you know what I mean? And irk these motherfuckers to the point until they show their true character. Whether that true character be to say, you know, fuck that, you know, I want this money. You understand what I'm saying? Fuck the black people. I'm trying to get paid. Because they will say that shit. They will say that shit. They may not say it blatantly. Some will. But if you got any kind of perceptions, you'll be able to, you know, say, oh yeah, motherfucker, you punking out. Oh yeah, motherfucker, you sold out. But really, you ain't even always got to hear from the horse's mouth. You can just watch the goddamn attitudes and behaviors. How they act and behave. You know, do they get fidgety and do they walk away whenever, you know, you start talking that, you know, strong, you know, we need to fight, we need to stay strong, united, you know, against this cracker. I mean, that'll always get a reaction out of them and shit. You know, because that's like the boogeyman word, cracker. Oh Lord, he said cracker. Did he say cracker? Did he just type the word cracker? You know, that kind of shit. See, yo, you think that we have moved along and advanced so far, yo? Yo, the slave mentality is just as strong as it was on the plantation, y'all. Believe that shit. Only difference with us now, man, is we ain't wearing rags and tattered clothing. We wearing designer clothing, but we still goddamn slaves with the same slave mentality. You know, we know our goddamn place. And we have, you know, we keep ourselves in our place. Massa don't have to come and put us back in check often because we good at checking our goddamn self. That kind of shit. All right? Now, here's what the memes do. They dumb you down. They remove perception of depth. Depth perception. When you expounding upon a thing, you pondering upon a thing. You know what I'm saying? In conversation with your people. And then one of the persons say, damn, yo, that was deep. Well, what he's saying is your perception of whatever you expounded upon had depth. You took the shit even further than the superficial. You understand that shit? You took the shit further than the average man can even think on the shit upon. You got what I'm saying? And this is how you gauge wisdom. This is how they assess who are the threats. White folk. Based on an individual's depth perception. How far is this nigga able to see beyond the veil? Right? How open is his third eye? How much is his pineal gland activated? Because I'm the white man speaking, because we have technologies and psychological barriers in place, you understand, to prevent this type of thing. Why has this nigga slipped through the prison system? Why has not this nigga been shot or killed? Didn't he say he was a drug addict who robbed drug dealers for 10 years? Why isn't he dead? Is there some type of breach within our barriers? How was he able to maneuver through the buffers? Okay? That we have in place. Like Copley said, they just a circle within a circle within a circle within a circle within a circle. You understand? And all the outer circles are just buffers to prevent you from getting to the inner circle. There's that Wizard of Oz and Matrix comparative analysis. All right? So they want to know how Elihu, right? This nigga with 2 goals in his mouth. This nigga that say nigga every other word and motherfucker. Okay? This nigga that they showed you his body with all these banged out tattoos and gang burns all over him. You understand that shit? This nigga who walks the streets of Baltimore, and while he even making videos, you hear people calling Eli, yo, what's up, Eli? You understand that shit? I got videos with sisters like, hey, brother. You understand that shit? Why is he liked amongst his people? Right? Why is he influential? Why is he so charismatic? Could he be the one? These are the type of things, brother, they use to assess threats. They also use 3 other factors. Intent. Okay, now, since we see he has all these things, and since he did, manage to stay alive and out of prison, right? What is his intent? Where do you think he's going with all of this? Second thing they use, capability. Okay, how capable is he of carrying out his intent? Does he have any money? Does he have any backing? Does he have any hidden financiers? We see he has a huge liking and following both online and on the street. Has he been approached by anyone who chooses to be, anonymous, but likes what he's saying enough to finance him? You understand that shit? And the motherfucking third thing that I like to say, how strong does he have, or how strong is his God? Did you catch that shit? Does he have a God? And if so, how strong is his God? Because although they have tricked a whole lot of you, and a lot of y'all don't even know, you've been fucking bamboozled into this, this I'm God shit, or there ain't no God, this new black atheist movement. I don't even know what the fuck to say to y'all other than, yo, for real, come the fuck back home, Jack. That's the only thing I can tell you with that piece. You know what I mean? You making a real big mistake. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, abandon the white Jesus. Fuck white Jesus. Don't give a fuck about no white Jesus. But that book you call the Bible, yo, the book was written by your ancestors. All he did was try to alter a few things. But yo, when you get into the book, yo, you understand what I'm saying? When you become spiritual connected to God, you feel me? The black God of Zion, the creator of Adumah. You know what I mean? Of Adumah. Duma. Damu. You understand? They mistranslated as being red, but it means blood. Okay? It means the blood child. Child of blood. That's all the fuck the name means. It's difficult to translate Hebrew and shit like that into English. But it means blood child. Adumah, blood man. Because you're not spiritual man in this form. You're in the physical form. Okay? You're in the physical form. So you need blood, man. You have blood running through you. Spiritual and celestial beings don't have blood running through their bodies. They're light beings. You understand that shit? The deactivation and the calcification of the pineal gland. And how to keep these things calcified and deactivated. You know, and they'll tell you about heart frequencies and all that shit. Even your cell phone is one of the technologies along with the psychological weapons that they use, right, to keep your shit from activating. But when you start developing depth perception, when you start to develop your mind to the state of looking beyond the veil, when you begin to ponder all day and contemplate on God, your relationship with the cosmos and the universe, okay? When you begin to take on the same divine battle of the creator, your shit will awaken, especially when you take on and become a fighting soldier on Team God, okay, versus Team Satan, the adversary, okay. Your pineal gland, as you start to develop your depth perception, your ability to look beyond the surface, not just see something superficial and say, oh, okay, that was cool, that was deep, and move the fuck on fast. You don't sit back and meditate or ponder on the shit. This is why you hear when people talk about decalcifying or activating pineal glands, you always see the word meditate somewhere near it. Well, meditate is contemplation, it's pondering, it's expounding upon something. And it's usually done quietly within the self. I meditate and ponder all the time. My brain never rests. No, I correct you. My brain never sleeps. Sleep is not even a real thing. It's an illusion. There's no such thing as sleep. I figured that shit out years ago. That's a lie. I figured that shit out on my own. Because when you so-called sleep, you still alive. Your heart's still beating. Your brain's still telling all your body function to operate. You even dream. There's no thing as sleep. You only rest. You understand that shit? And this is the thing I'm telling you about death. There is no death. Like there is no sleep. Death is an illusion. You're an eternal being having a physical experience. That's why you don't sleep. Your system don't shut the fuck down. Then come back on with a timer and shit. That's what would be that would be what sleep would how sleep would be described, as a shutdown of something. a temporary shutdown of something, then an awakening. And that's not a shutdown. Your brain don't shut down when you so-called sleep. Your brain is very fucking active. In fact, it's just as live and active as the fuck when you move around. Because it's still making sure the functions, the lungs are still functioning. The heart is still beating. You know what I mean? Some people even talk in they sleep. Some people fucking walk in they sleep. No. REM sleep. REM. Rapid eye movement. When you having dreams and shit. Your eyeballs move back and forth real fast. Under your lids and shit. It's called REM sleep. Rapid eye movement. It happens whenever you're dreaming. And the more intense the dream, the faster the eye movement. You know what I mean? Intensity. Vibration. See, these are the things that will decalcify your pineal gland. The pineal gland calcifies whenever its vibration slows down or stops altogether. It begins to take on a fleshly crust on it because it's not vibrating fast. It's not illuminated. Lit up. And when it lights up, it generates heat. All energy gives off heat. Light gives off heat. You understand that shit? Angels are described as having fire. Described as fire. God is described as having a brightness round about him. That's his glory. That's the vibration and the light, the energy that he gives off. Most say it's so bright they can't look at him directly. They fall to their face. He told Moses, don't look at me. Nigga, you'll go blind. You did? Up on Mount Sinai. Moses say, Lord, can I see you? Say, you can't see me. Can't look at me. Told him, look at that bush right there. Don't look over here. Nigga, you behold my glory, you'll go blind, might even lose your goddamn mind. You ain't fit to behold such beauty. Not in the state that you in right now. You're in the lowest state of creativity. The physical. First stage. Here I am. You on Mount Kuth. For those who down with Kabbalah and the Tree of Life, you all the way down on Mount Kuth. Nigga, I'm Keter. You understand that? I'm Ein Sof Or. A sword. You know what I mean? He beyond Keter. I said the wrong thing. Keter is just the first Sephiroth. But you got the one above that, which is God. The unknowable. The omnipotent. The Ancient of Days. You know? You got to get in touch with God, Jack, if you even want to begin to have the type of perception I have. That's why most niggas don't have it. Because the ones who claim to be conscious are really atheists for real. They've chosen money as their master. And you cannot have two masters. You cannot. Money never ever seduced me. Every time I've had large sums of money, I gave more than half of the shit away. Sometimes foolishly, sometimes, righteously. But money never had that impact on me. I struggled and been poor all my life. Not that I'm complacent and all right with being poor. No. I want wealth and everything. But I have a good understanding and perception of how to use it now after having it a few times and seeing what it did to me as far as perverting me. And now, it's like a lot of millionaires went broke before they learned to be millionaires and remain millionaires. They was millionaires, went broke, was millionaires again, went broke, and the third time around they got it right. Most millionaires fit that, fit that description. So, you know what I mean? Activating the pineal gland. So then when your perception and it begins to awaken, it starts to vibrate again. And when it vibrates more faster, it shatters that crust, that calcification just breaks into a bunch of pieces. You understand that shit? It begins to glow and give off heat and energy. You know what I mean? It's reactivated, right? And when it gets to vibrating fast, it starts to awaken that front neocortex center lobe. That third eye begins to open a little at a time. A little. It's not just a bing and it's wide open. Nah, don't happen like that. The vibration and the glowing of the pineal gland don't just go from off to on. It grows as your perception grows. It vibrates faster as your perception vibrates faster. You understand? Now these are my metaphysics. I don't know about anybody else who even talk about pineal glands. And if they match that, then to me, they on point. You know, I'd like to have a few. I never got to meet Phil Valentine or him. I met a lot of them. But I ain't never the old school crew. I met a lot of the old school crew, though. I never got to meet Phil. I never got to meet Amos. It's a lot I didn't get to meet, but it's a lot I did meet. I met a lot who was coming through that DC crowd, that Howard crowd, through like 85, 86, 87, up to like 92. You know what I mean? Where most black colleges, their black student unions were strong, dog. And that's when the black colleges begin to really attack the black student unions and start telling them, who they allowed to have to speak and who they can't have to speak. This shit began like around when they started attacking them and shit. The heavy was around like 87, 86, 87, 88. Start telling you can't have Coakley here or you can't have this here. And the students fought the fuck back. You know what I mean? They fought the fuck back. One of the ugliest battles between the university and the Black Student Union was at Howard. And I was there for a lot to see a lot of that shit. Because most of the people who was going to these lectures at Howard and hanging on the Howard campus didn't even fucking go to Howard. It's just that the consciousness there was so strong. This was like the fucking genesis of the this new black lecture circuit movement. It began roughly around 85, 86, 87, like full steam ahead. This is where all your so-called greats and giants really began making their mark. Your Francis Cress Wilson, sellout bitch. Your Neely Fuller, he's cool. Neely. It's lectures where he straight up. Francis is trying to pacify Neely. Neely coming with the strong shit, and she trying to real sly, like trying to take the bite out of his words and shit. But he telling her, no, it ain't like that. It's like this. Neely, I love Neely Fuller, love Neely Fuller, you know what I mean? But she tried to make her name, she made her name off of Neely. And what, Francis ain't had no real strong shit. She met Neely Fuller, and he taught her that shit. Then she started piggybacking off of his shit. And Neely Fuller always knew this shit. And I think deep down inside, he got a little animosity for the bitch. For real. She made her career off of his goddamn teachings, yo. Believe that shit. Believe that shit, yo. She was just a jive ass college teacher and shit. But her shit ain't had no bite to it until she hooked up with Fuller. And Fuller taught her what the fuck white supremacy was. Then she started teaching the shit on white supremacy and started talking about pool balls and all that dumbass shit. The fuck, that ain't got nothing to do with no goddamn white supremacy. See, you gotta be careful how motherfuckers can package, shit and sell it fuck shit to you. They sell shit in bags and call it manure. You hear what I'm saying? Shit. Sell you fucking tap water. Just putting it in a bottle and a label on the shit. Yeah, some people don't even know the difference from regular bottled water, filtered bottled water, and spring water. It's a big difference. Just because you bought it, it's in a bottle don't mean it came from a natural spring. And there's no filters that they make that can take out fucking things like fluoride, chlorine. They can take out small amounts. And the thing that does that is charcoal. Charcoal is the best filter in the world for water. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. The movement was real strong then. And I was able to come up through that era. That's the era I came out of, man. That era. DC was the fucking place to be. I'm telling you, man. That's real talk. But everybody who spoke in DC came next door to Baltimore because, hey, it's like this. When you attract a trailer driver, if you taking a route from fucking Virginia to Texas, you want to try to find a motherfucking route going back to Virginia. If you don't just drop the haul off at Texas and then drive back home, you stick around a while to see if you got something that's going back to the East Coast. So anybody who spoke in fucking DC automatically tried to set up, engagement in Baltimore, in which they was able to do most 9 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying? So they hit both cities and shit. But I went, to DC a lot. You know what I mean? Once I got turned on and plugged into that little Howard scene, it was a wrap. And everybody was there. The rappers was there. They was coming through there. That's how powerful the shit was back then. It wasn't no thing to see. It wasn't a thing to see Busta Rhymes down that bitch. You know what I mean? Or Tupac. Tupac. That wasn't nothing, yo. Cause I went to a high school called Merville, right? My man Mark was fucking with my man Mark. Me and him was right hand man at Merville. And Mark was what you call mulatto. He had a black father and a white mother. He was fucking the bitch Jada back then and shit. You know what I mean? He was fucking her and shit. In fact, they used to pick me up in the car. We used to go to this club called Signals. But the club was like punk rockish, like, you know what I mean? I only was going just because Mark used to be like, come on, yo, go. And at first we started off just going, you know how you drive to a club and you don't go in, you just lean on the car because Mark's sister had a motherfucking Celica, a brand new joint, right? Red, fire red too. So when we showed up, that bitch, he was straight, you know what I'm saying? And Tater used to go sometime, right? You know what I mean? And, we knew Pop and we used to go, I used to ride, we used to cut out school, me and Mark, and go pick her up down School of the Arts downtown. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Used to see Pop and shit like that. But, shit. But Howard was a motherfucking place to be, yo. Straight up, yo. You know what I mean? And yo, you got, that's why I be talking about chasing the motherfucking lectures, yo. Chasing the motherfucking knowledge, yo. It was a great time to be alive, yo. You never felt more alive and awake in your life, yo, than when you was chasing that knowledge. You know what I mean? And Steve just loved having me around. Shit, we gonna take Eli with us. Shit, you feel me? I had I got a natural mug on my face, right? And you know what I'm saying? He used to joke me like, shit, ain't nobody gonna fuck with as long as Eli here. He used to talk about my mug and shit. Joke me a lot about my mug, how my mug is always broke, right? And I had a goal too since I was 12 years old. My mother got me a goal at 12. When I went from the 8th grade to the 9th, it was my little 8th grade graduation gift. And I begged her, you know what I mean, to let me get that motherfucker before, we walk across stage day. Now, mind you, I'm in Catholic school with these nuns, white nuns and shit. They hated my ass. I'm left-handed too. And they used to think that left-handed people had the devil in them, right? I'm left-handed. I'm too goddamn smart for their ass. You know what I mean? And I was the only kid catching the bus all the way in the county from the city. The rest of the kids that went there were county kids. You know, their parents had a lot of money and shit. My mother was just a hard-working woman. But, you know, white people and teachers have told all my life that your son's smart. You know, white teachers. And then one time a Jew white teacher, my third grade teacher, told her she wanted to skip me up to the sixth grade. Yo, who the fuck you ever heard wants to get jumped from the third grade to the sixth grade? You hear about we want to move them, take them out of third and move them up to the fourth, you know, after one semester. You know what I mean? Like that and shit. While he still can finish up the other three semesters as a fourth grader. You know what I mean? They usually spot that shit early on. You know what I mean? And it was a way of, you know, pushing niggas in a way kind of up. But in my case, I really was an advanced student and shit. You know what I mean? Some people say that left hand shit got something to do with it. I don't know. You know what I mean? May not have. I do know being a Sagittarius has something to do with it. You know what I mean? I do know that all throughout history, my birthday, December 8th, a lot of real powerful events in history. It's something about that day that has some kind of cosmic powerful attribute about December 8th. And then my birth year is 1969. So all that shit was it's just a lot of power. All the power, the check boxes for power all checked off. Left-handed, December 8th, Sagittarius, 1969. That's like the fucking heart and power of the fucking movement of civil rights. When it reached the peak point, 69, of consciousness in this country, both white and black. It's of the spiritual consciousness, the revolutionary consciousness. All both peaked at 1969. You understand what I'm saying? So, for some reason, at that hour, on that day, the motherfucking stars was aligned. And then my birth name is Raymond. Okay? Raymond. Amun Ra. Ramon. Amun Ra. Raymond. And it means ray, Ra, light. And then Mon, moon. Light of the moon, moonlight. Or Amun Ra. Raymond. You understand what I'm saying? Ramon. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of motherfucking, attributes that are just all in line and in sync for me to be great. But again, I think my environment stifled me a little bit. You know what I mean? And I really didn't have nobody really keeping an eye on me growing up. My mother was a workaholic. She paid people to look after me that didn't. They took the money, but they didn't. You know, I was going skating with fucking 18-year-olds and shit at 10, coming home 3 o'clock in the morning and shit. You know, I'm hanging out with 18-year-olds and shit. By fucking 11, I'm sniffing glue. You know, I'm sniffing glue, drinking goddamn Cokie 900 beer at 11 and smoking reefer. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? That's how that go. But I have too many boxes checked off that still, even with all of that, right? I was still able to, have an impact on most individuals that come across me for any duration of time. You know what I mean? I have some kind of impact on them, whether it be negative or positive. And unfortunately, I do the negative just as well as I do the positive. You know what I mean? You think I'm a beast with the knowledge? Well, I'm a monster with the evil. You feel me? So, but like the Circle 7 says, man is both truth and falsehood strangely mixed, That's the burden of the flesh. All right. This is Brother Eli Ill, man. I hope you got something out of this one. Especially go back to the beginning and watch it again. And listen to what Brother Alton said and shit, and make the comparative analysis with these Google guys on Google, okay? You know what I mean? Call these motherfuckers out, man, for real. Make them show and prove which side are you fucking on. Because you're an owner and you posting this goddamn, don't use my profile to do this type shit. After you see, I've been busting motherfuckers left and right, busting them with no goddamn Vaseline. Yeah, I still getting fucking like 8 and 9 and 10 of them motherfuckers every day. 0 followers, 3 followers. And they always got the same construct. Attack. They always come with an attack. You know what I mean? The patterns is the same. They don't change or alter. Then Google is fucking with me all day. Shutting down they shut my keyboard down on my phone, yo. I had to I ain't even tell you what the fuck I had to do, but man, that shit was crazy, yo. Shut my keyboard down. What kind of shit is that? Look, and they always do it after I post something. It's like, oh, we see this nigga's back at it again. He ain't got the message, huh? Then they had a little computer text, do some, they very inventive and creative. So I know what, if I could just picture some little nerd ass, racist white boy and shit, how about we shut down his keyboard? You know what I mean? Some shit like that. I could do this, I could do that. You know what I mean? You know how the fuck they are. Thank God I got enough fucking antivirus software on my lap. You feel me? That I guess I'm sure I know that they can put an encryption on that bitch though. Make no mistakes. But I think they got what you call orders from higher up to, just monitor me. I don't think they want me shut down. They want to monitor me. See, powerful people, they just don't shut down or lock up. They monitor because they want more fish. They want more fish. You feel me? They don't want just me. They want any motherfucker that choose to, you know what I'm saying? That choose to try to, follow my school of thought or shit like that. And that's merely the burden of being strong, yo. That's not for you to punk out and get scared. That's supposed to make you fight, man. This shit ain't fit for punks, yo. I'm gonna go ahead and warn you guys of that shit now. If you a punk, yo, just go. Get the fuck away from me. Get out our way. We should not have to fucking deal with you and them. So just fucking step if you a punk. For real, yo. Stay the fuck out our way. Alright. This motherfucker going on 50 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and bust this up and shit. I gotta get the fuck out the door and shit. I only gotta do a couple things this morning, though. It's Wednesday. I only gotta go back on the floor, so I usually go in like about 6 o'clock and hit the floors. I just gotta be done by 7. And the offices ain't that goddamn big, so that's how it is. That's where I be going and coming and shit when you see me making these videos on foot. You might see me by a light rail or a train or a bus. You know what I mean? I gotta get an exhaust system on my truck and shit. And I don't want to keep driving my truck, fucking it up even worse, And that shit is $450, right? And so I'm gonna get this shit fixed though around probably this weekend. I guess I get it fixed Saturday. I only deal with one garage though, so it might be Monday or Tuesday, I guess. Cause I don't think they open on Saturdays. I know they don't. I think I remember they not open on Saturdays and Sundays. They only open Monday through Friday. All right, so it's definitely time to shut this down, and now I'm just talking to myself out loud. All right, brothers and sisters, this is Lahu L. Peace.